So last weekend, I went to the Black Ensemble Theater with my grandma to see the Jackie Wilson story. A very quick story before I talk about this show. Every time I talk to my grandma about theater and like what I'm doing and how I see all these shows, she always brings up that her and my grandpa saw the Jackie Wilson story in the early 2000s during their original run at the small Black Ensemble Theater. And she would always rave about this show and was always telling me, Bridget, if it ever comes back, please let me know. I would love to see the Jackie Wilson story again. So then as I was doing research for shows happening in Chicago for my videos, I saw the Black Ensemble Theater brought it back for their 50th anniversary. So the first person I had to call was my grandma. So we had a little date night to go see this show. And spoiler alert, she loved it this time just as much as she saw it over 20 years ago. And me, not knowing any Jackie Wilson songs, was also a huge fan of this production. I'm not always the biggest fan of jukebox musicals, but I do like it when they're in this format where you're learning about the life of an artist and you're hearing their music throughout the musical. And that being said, I'm shocked that I did not know one single Jackie Wilson song throughout this entire musical, but all of the songs are fantastic. And I really like in this musical that they did not hide that he had a significant amount of flaws, whether it was his alcoholism, some drugs, definitely not remaining monogamous in his relationships. But even though he was an imperfect human being, you also sympathized for him and you really wanted him to win and succeed. And it's really sad to see the control the mob had over him and his music career and that he was never able to reach the heights that he should have. I did learn from my grandma that Jackie Wilson died really young, but we didn't realize that he was in a coma for so long, and that was heartbreaking. But there were also a lot of positives in his life as well, and I just loved getting to see this show and hear the history of this show and how popular it's been. And it is running through the end of April, so if you have the opportunity to go check out the Black Ensemble Theater and see the Jackie Wilson story, I definitely recommend you do so.